over this weekend, I've been exploring with a lot of AI agents, and I was able to find a workflow for myself that turned me from a software engineer to a product manager. I was able to get a bunch of different features implemented on my personal website without writing a single line of code. More on that later in the video. For now, let's talk about DeepSeek R1. DeepSeek R1 is the rival to the OpenAI's model O1. At least that's what it says on the website. It is currently state-of-the-art reasoning and non-reasoning model. DeepSeek R1 is free of cost for you to use. It can access internet, so of course you get access to all the live information on the web right now. There are so many people who tried to do a bunch of cool things with R1 model. For example, I found some people who downloaded the model and ran it locally on their mobile phone. There were people who connected it to Cursor and ran the model locally. So basically, imagine having the capabilities of O1 running locally on your laptop or on your mobile phone. All of this is possible because DeepSeek truly made this model open source, so you can access the weight to the model and the paper also, unlike OpenAI, which do not reveal most of the stuff that they do, even though the name is OpenAI. Anyways, so there's this person who made 200k requests on DeepSeek API in just few hours, and there was no rate limiting, and the whole thing costed him like 50 cents, which is like what, 96% cheaper than OpenAI's plans. And because of that, since DeepSeek R1 is so cheap, Sam Altman was forced to make their new plans for O3 model considerably cheaper than what they used to be. I don't want to pay $20 just to be able to use something that I can get for absolutely free and that can also run on my laptop or on my mobile phone in the best case. DeepSeek R1 is really the game changer. Apart from it being so cheap, there are a bunch of other things that are super cool about this model. I'm going to show you this paper. Basically, this paper has a bunch of questions that you can put into LLMs, and most of the existing LLMs will get most of the questions wrong. These questions are very tricky, as in these are ripoff of the existing classical problems like Monty Hall problem, for example. Since Monty Hall problem is very common, it's very easy to trick models into thinking that the question that I'm asking them is Monty Hall problem, and then they'll get the answer wrong if they are not being careful, if they are not reasoning correctly. So I took a question which was similar to the Monty Hall problem. I gave the question to ChatGPT O1 and it got the answer wrong because it thought that the question that I'm giving it is a Monty Hall problem. So without thinking too much, it just spit out the answer saying, you should switch and get to the new door. In case you don't know what Monty Hall problem is, I'm gonna link down some videos and you can watch those videos to know about this problem. But in this question, it's like a small difference between the true Monty Hall problem and this question. In Monty Hall problem, what happens is the host opens a door and then you only have 2 doors left, and then they ask you to switch your choice or if you want to stick to your choice. But in the question that I'm asking these models, I don't open any door. I just ask them if you want to switch or not, and O1 gets it wrong. Now when I gave the same question to DeepSeek, it did not answer immediately. Instead, it thought for 107 seconds. That's almost 2 minutes of overthinking. DeepSeek did 2 minutes of overthinking for this question, and you get the access to the entire reasoning that it did, the entire chain of thought. You can read through it. If I put this chain of thought into O1 model and then ask it to rethink about the problem, O1 model realizes that, oh, this is not a true Monty Hall problem, and it actually tells you that there is no benefit of switching unless you open one of the doors. On the other hand, DeepSeek did all of this thinking, and then finally it told me that there is no advantage to switch. Basically, all the doors have equal probability, which is the correct answer. I was not expecting it to solve this problem at all, because this problem, all of the existing state-of-the-art models were failing to find the answer to. So that's crazy. DeepSeek AI is truly a reasoning model because it actually spends time thinking about the problems instead of just spitting an answer quickly. The chain of thought part is very cool. I like the fact that you can read the entire chain of thought, and not just for this question, for other questions also you get the access to the entire chain of thought, which kind of helps you judge the answer of the model and lets you know if it's hallucinating or not. So that was pretty cool. I wrote a blog about this entire thing on my website. I'm going to link that in the description. You can read that because in that blog I talked about a bunch of other stuff that I tried with the model. Like I also tried to scrape the information of people, my friends, from the internet using this model. So I told them 3 things. Like I told them, hey, this is a friend of mine. He did this, he did that, he likes this. Now do a search on the internet and tell me the entire story of this person. And surprisingly enough, DeepSeek was able to find out really niche things about this person from the internet. So that was pretty cool. And then I have a bunch of other examples that you can go and read through. But yeah, overall, DeepSeek felt much better as a consumer when I used it than OpenAI's O1. So that was very exciting. That was one of the things that I did over the weekend, like experimented with DeepSeek R1. The other thing that I did, however, is I tried Trae. Trae is a cursor AI competitor made by the parent company of TikTok. Yes, I'm talking about that TikTok which is banned in India and US both now. ByteDance made this code editor. It's called Trae. And basically, the funniest part of this entire thing is Trae is completely free of cost right now. So Trae allows you to use Claude 3.5 Sonnet to write code absolutely free, which Cursor won't allow you to do because Claude 3.5 Sonnet is a pretty expensive model. And Trae allows you to use it for free. I don't know for how long they're planning to make it free, but it is free right now. I also don't know if they are going to be banned in those countries just like TikTok, but they are free right now. I would not trust my secret projects on Trae, but the fact is that I don't have any secret project. Most of the projects that I work on are open source. So for me, I don't really care about it being a Chinese company and taking my data because my data is on GitHub and they can either way take it. But if you have some secret projects or whatever, I would suggest you to not open them on Trae. I don't trust them that much. I don't even trust DeepSeek that much right now because both of them are Chinese companies and Chinese companies have a bad history related to security and privacy concerns. With that being said, let me show you how Trae looks. So this is the UI. I like how they are using most of the real estate unlike Cursor. The fun part was, so I'm going to show you one example of what I tried to do using Trae. Basically, I have this website. This is my personal website. So one of the things that I do on this website is that I write down blogs. And on those blogs, I do not currently have any way of knowing if people are liking them or not. So what I wanted to have is a simple like button where you can go and like the blog, and so that I can see how many people are reading or how many people are actually liking my blogs that I'm writing on the website. And I did not want to implement this myself, so I gave this task to Trae. I said, in this project of mine, I want to have the option to add likes to the blogs and the projects, and then I explained how I want the UI to look and stuff like that. Then Trae did all the changes, implemented all the code, installed all the libraries that needed to be installed. I got the option to review just like Cursor. If you don't know how Cursor looks, I also have a video about Cursor, gonna link that in the description. Watch that video. It's very similar to Cursor, but this one is absolutely free of cost. And for me, it actually performed better than Cursor. So yeah, I asked it to add the like feature to my blogs, and then I went back and forth with Trae. I did not write any code in this entire process. I just talked in natural language and I tried to, see how we can experiment with different AIs, how we can have different features integrated. Do I want to have Firebase? Do I want to have some other form of database? So I went back and forth with Trae. I even gave it the screenshots. Like I gave it a screenshot. I'm like, okay, this is how the website looks right now. How about you create a skeleton for this so that when the blogs are loading, I don't get an empty screen, which is pretty cool because I didn't have to write the code to make the skeleton or anything. So I went back and forth with Trae for about half an hour. After that, I asked Trae to make a PR to the GitHub, and then this is the PR, add a new like button. It wrote almost 1,000 lines of code and removed 23 lines of code. Now, as a normal person, I could go and review the code and I could be like, okay, I am happy or am I not happy? I can decide that by reviewing the code. But here's another thing I tried. I tried CodeRabbit. CodeRabbit is basically a AI code reviewer for GitHub, which you can use to review the PRs, to make block diagrams, to write description and analysis of your PR and everything else. It looks pretty cool. Let me show you. So Trae made this PR and it did not have a description or anything else. I added CodeRabbit to my GitHub and then I asked it to review this PR. So in the review, it first wrote the walkthrough, the changes that Trae has made. It even made a sequence diagram of how the likes are working. This is crazy. I don't expect anyone to be actually doing this for the PR, but this is so helpful. Like I can see the entire flow of how the API works. The API was implemented by Trae, by the way. CodeRabbit did not implement the API, but it accessed the code from the PR and then made this entire sequence diagram. It even wrote a poem for me, which is so cute. After that, it suggested a bunch of changes. I went through the changes and the best part was that I could just commit these changes directly without having to go to VS Code and write any single line of code. And these changes were genuine. Like there were some places where Trae was importing things that it was not using, and this was only happening because I was going back and forth trying to implement new features onto my website. It did all of those things, and then I got the link to preview my website. And if you go to the link right now, this is how it looks. You have a like button, you click the like button, the like would be added on the Firebase database, and then the number should increase. Like it's 4 right now. And then you can unlike it, and it also took care of debouncing, so I cannot, if I keep on clicking the like button multiple times, it would not just go up back and forth quickly, because that would hit the rate limit. It actually blocks the user from doing that, which is pretty cool. So it did most of the stuff that I would have done myself if I were to implement a like button for my blog post. It did all of that, and I did not write a single piece of code. I did not have to, go and review the code also. Code was written by Claude 3.5 Sonnet using Trae, and the code was reviewed by RabbitAI code reviewer. I no longer have to write and implement these features myself. I have so many AI agents that I can use to write and implement these features, and to even review their code. All I have to do is act like a product manager, give them suggestions and give them the features that I want to be implemented, and then go back and forth in natural language, and everything else would be implemented for me automatically. I'm gonna merge this PR after this video, and then this version would be live, so you guys can actually see that the like button actually works as expected. So impressive. And this is not the only thing that I'm using these AI agents for. I'm also using Cursor AI right now to add light dark to my website, and that PR is also completely written by Cursor AI. I did not write a single line of code. I will not review that PR also. I will ask CodeRabbit to review that PR. So basically, using these AI agents, it feels like I have a bunch of different interns that are helping me do my personal projects. So exciting. Now, if you made it to this part of the video and are wondering if software engineering jobs are in danger, let me tell you that no, software engineering jobs are not in danger. I did not say that it can replace me, or these AI agents that I've showed you just now can replace me. These AI agents are making my life easier. These are helping me implement features which are very redundant and easy to implement. I would want to have these AI agents support me while I do the bigger things. For example, on my website, I recently made a commit which made this entire website slightly faster. Now, this commit was entirely written by me. No AI agent can do all of the stuff that I did here, at least not right now, because all of the things that I did here are experimental. They needed a lot of research and a lot of hit and trials to reach a point where I could make my website faster. Now, this is where I want to spend most of my time on. I want to spend my time on making things look better, feel better, and just, feel faster in general. I don't want to waste my time implementing like button or pagination in my websites. So yeah, AI agents are not going to replace software engineers, as long as software engineers are trying to improvise themselves constantly and figuring out how to use those AI agents for your own benefit. I love the fact that we have so many cool things coming up in just 27 days. 2025 is just starting right now, and we already have so many cool things going out in the AI world. Operator is now coming live soon for research preview from OpenAI, which is also going to be super exciting. I might actually try and make Operator locally, because now we have DeepSeek R1, which I can use on my laptop, and then I can give it access to browser and then create Operator for myself without having to pay $200 to OpenAI. What a world to be living in right now. It's very exciting. I'm very excited about all these things. I hope you are also slightly excited at least. But yeah, one advice that I can give you, if you're a software engineer or if you're a college student watching my video right now, please try to be updated with all the things that are going in the AI world, and try to upskill yourself to use all those tools, because they're going to help you become a 10x software engineer and you will get to spend your time doing more fun things like making this video, making that website faster. With that being said, I've talked about most of the stuff now, so this is the end of the video, I guess. I will see you soon.